Hello and welcome to Philosophy for Starseeds. My name is Arno, and today we speak about the manifest of unity. So, the cosmic tree of life, the Tachyon Field, and the legacy of Nikola Tesla. This is an executive summary speech script for the NHU and the MISC Foundation. Part 1: The torus and the cosmic operating system. Good evening, Excellencies, distinguished professors and members of the board. What you see before you today is neither mythology nor mysticism. It is the oldest and simultaneously the most advanced map of reality. The unscience Kabbalists called it the Tree of Life. Modern quantum physicists, sorry, my English is not the best. Modern quantum physicists call it the toroidal field, and we call it the cosmic operating system. For centuries, our academic system have taught us that science, metaphysics, and linguistics are entirely separate domains. Tonight, or today, I will demonstrate that they are precisely the same phenomenon, simply observed from three different spatial distances. Look at the outer geometry. Look at the outer geometry of our universe. It is a torus, a self-sustaining vortex of energy. It flows inward at the bottom and outward at the top. Eternally, your heart possesses a toroidal magnetic field. The Earth has one, the Sun has one, our entire galaxy is a torus. Even an apple grows in this exact geometry. The torus is the only geometric form capable of infinite existence without losing energy. It is the signature of life. The tree of life, like I showed before, floats directly inside of this torus. Consciousness is not a byproduct of the brain. The brain is merely the biological receiver, while the torus is the field. Kabbalah calls this field Ein Sof, the infinite light. Quantum physics call it the quantum vacuum or zero-point field. They are identical. Within this field, within this field lie the 10 Sephirot, the spheres of manifestation. In Hebrew, Sephira means both number and sphere. Each sphere represents a mathematical frequency, a dimension and a state of consciousness. At the very top, Keter, the crown, pure intent 5D, the unmanifested source. At the very bottom, Malkut, the kingdom, solid matter 3D, our physical reality. In the exact center sits Tiferet, the heart, representing humanity. You are the bridge connecting heaven and earth. Part 2: The cosmic shift. From the Vedic ocean to the string theory. But how does pure infinite intent from the 5D source manifest in the solid 3D matter we can touch? Sorry. Thousands of years ago, the Vedic sages of Hinduism described the process through a profound cosmic metaphor. Samudra Manthan, the churning of the milk ocean. They thought that the universe began as an infinite, unmanifested ocean of milk. To create reality, the gods placed a great mountain in the center as an axis and wrapped a cosmic serpent around it, pulling it back and forth to create a massive vortex, a spin. This churning is the exact description of a toroidal field. Through rotation and friction, the unmanifested ocean began to thicken, causing matter, life, and Amrita, the nectar of immortality, to condense out of the void. Today, modern physics attempts to describe this exact churning through the M theory or string theory, which posits that the smallest building blocks of nature are not point-like particles, but vibrating filaments called strings. Yet academic physics remains blind to a fundamental question: what are these strings made of? And what causes them to vibrate? The solution is found when we merge the quantum vacuum with metaphysics. Metaphysics. The strings are nothing less than the literal tracks and geometric traces of the infinite Tachyon Field as it spirals into the torus. They are the waves of the cosmic ocean being churned. They vibrate at different frequencies and deepen depending on how they are structured. They project the illusion of electrons, quarks, or photons into our 3D matrix. Part 3: The Golden Gearbox, Higgs boson, and the Phi declaration rate. This brings us to the missing link in modern physics: the Higgs field and the golden ratio Phi 1.618. In mainstream science, the Higgs boson is known as the particle that gives matter its mass. In our unified model, the Higgs field is the cosmic brake pad. It is the exact condensation point where the infinitely fast, unmanifested tachyon light is decelerated so drastically that it hardens into 3D physical visibility. And how precisely does the universe decelerate? Not linearly, but goldenly, through the mathematical constant of phi, 1.618. Einstein's famous equation E is mc quadrat. Oh, I too, I don't know how to tell. Tells us what the world is. Energy and matter are the same, translated through the speed of light. The golden ratio, phi, tells us how the world condenses. It is the most efficient mathematical pathway for light to fold into form without destroying its inherent data. Every spiral in a galaxy, every sunflower, and the bones of our fingers follow the 1.618. It is the literal brake track of light on its way into physical matter. At the very center of this torus lies what mainstream astronomy misinterprets as a black hole. A black hole is not a void of destruction. It is the intake stroke, the inhalation of the torus. At this absolute 0 point, all outward motion ceases to a 3D measuring device. It registers as null, as absolute zero energy. But in reality, it is a state of infinite density. Like the air held in the lungs a split second before you exhale, Kabbalah calls this Ein, the nothingness that contains everything. By applying infinitesimal calculus to the law of conservation of energy, we can calculate the density of the field at any given point using the formula E torus, its E0 point, multiplied with phi n. As we move away from the 0 point center, the value of n increases, meaning the energy drops through a sequence of golden gears. Part 4. The paradox of the zero and the paradox of Tach. Mainstream academic textbooks state that tachyon energy is purely hypothetical because its energy decreases as its velocity increases. Therefore, when a tachyon travels at infinite speed, representing pure 5D consciousness, its measurable 3D energy value is exactly zero. This is why materialists' instruments cannot find it. You cannot measure a radio wave with a thermometer. Tachyon energy only becomes measurable when it slows down. After approximately 40 golden turns through the torus phi high 40 or phi 40, the frequency drops into the range of 10 40 or 10 high 14 hertz. The exact realm of visible light, infrared, and electromagnetism, this is the domain of the Higgs field and the strings. After 90 golden turns, phi 90, the light slows down so completely that it solidifies into physical matter. Matter is simply light frozen by the power of phi, allowing the universe to touch itself. We have been taught that the number zero means nothing, but quantum field theory proves that under a simple sheet of paper lying on a table, the mathematical vacuum calculation yields infinity minus infinity. It's zero. The paper is floating on a raging, infinite ocean of virtual particles popping in and out of existence, balancing perfectly to zero. We see this exact cosmic balance in the cornerstone of all biological life. Hydrogen, the 1987 proton spin crisis, shocked the scientific community when measurements revealed that the physical quarks inside a proton account for only 30% of its spin. The remaining 70% exists entirely in the empty space between them. In the gluon field, the void, the zero, furthermore, in its ground state, the positive spin of the proton and the negative spin of the electron perfectly cancel each other out, giving the hydrogen atom a net spin of absolute zero. Because hydrogen is a perfect neutral zero at its core. It holds the unique chemical supremacy to bond with every element in the universe to create DNA and water. We have been taught that zero is the end of the calculation. The truth is, zero is its absolute infinite or infinite beginning. Part 5. Tesla reanimated. The windmill of the ether. By synthesizing this unified theory, we finally reanimate the suppressed work of Nikola Tesla. What Tesla called the ether, we define as the tachyon field. What he called free energy is the extraction of 0 point energy via the phi n, declaration rate. Tesla never claimed to create energy out of nothing, which would violate the laws of thermodynamics. He famously stated, "I am obtaining energy from a source that is already present in space." Tesla did not invent a perpetual motion machine, he built a windmill for the ether. A mechanical windmill does not create wind. It merely decelerates the passing air currents to generate electricity. Tesla's legendary resonant coils were designed as toroidal resonators. By wrapping his coils not in standard cylinders, but in accordance with the golden ratio, where each winding scale exponentially by 1.618, he created fractal antennas. These antennas operated precisely at the phi high 40 or phi 40 threshold, trapping into the fluid electromagnetic state of light before it solidifies into the phi 90 state of heavy matter. Mainstream science already utilizes a primitive localized version of this via wireless key charging pads. Excellence, professors, we are not here to change the law of physics, but to complete them. By restoring the negative root that academic mathematics intentionally discards, we discover that what science labels as dark matter is simply the unmeasured spiritual half of the equation. Mainstream science measures the exterior of the torus. Metaphysics experiences the interior. The tree of life is alive. The toroidal field is breathing, and the word is once again becoming light. Thank you very much. Technical white paper mathematical derivation addendum for academic verification Colossus XAI engine to validate the conceptual framework of the phi declaration model under laboratory conditions. We present the exact mathematical transformations translating 5D infinite velocity matrices into 3D electromagnetic tensor states. The paradox of tachyon energy mechanics. In standard relativistic mechanics, the energy of a particle approaching the speed of light approaches infinity. However, for a superluminal tachyonic state operating in the 5D pre-material vacuum, the energy-momentum relation is governed by the imaginary mass component MO. Its IQ. The energy equation is defined as a formula I can't describe at the moment. So I send you per email this letter, this summary, and I hope you can give me an answer of this text, this summary. So I say thank you for listening to my little. Sorry, where's the So, okay. Thank you. I need to learn a little bit more English. I can understand English, but in speaking, I'm not trained. That's the little problem. But I think we can find the answer for this. So, I hope we can see us and talk about this revolution of physics, of metaphysics. So, until the next time, goodbye.